Sainers. Welcome to Saints TV for the 27th of May 2024. Thanks to Inglewood Coffee Roasters for being the sponsor of Saints TV Weekly for 2024. Go on over to inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au and use the discount code SaintsTV24 and you'll get 40% off coffee, tea and chai products. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to need about 50 of those because we'll get straight into it. That game yesterday was holy shit. That was bad. That was really bad. We went down to the Demons by 38 points. We kicked 62 points, which, 3 goals were very, very late in the game, and they were up by about 50 odd. So scoreboard again flattered us. We're too stubborn for our own good. We don't let teams smack us. Just let a team smack us and let's get a proper reality check. We still, on paper, don't look like we're getting blown out of the water that much. Anyone watching the game yesterday would have realised that was a, dominant Demons display, and they took us to the cleaners for the best part of 4 quarters at the MCG in front of 37,000. And a decent day in Melbourne. Sun was out. Walking to the G was great. It felt like the elimination final. The pre-game. It was just you're just good to be at the G again on a nice day. In what was a fairly big game for both clubs. Melbourne out of the 8. We are near the bottom 4 now, in the bottom 4, whatever you want to say. And we didn't turn up. So my full review's out on that, so check that out. I've also done, the club was kind enough to let me have a chat with Jack Sinclair, who was really disappointed after the game, obviously, and that's up as well on YouTube, so if you can watch that. 6 minutes of Sinks talking about the game, and interesting to hear his thoughts on the disconnect between the players. Players on differing wavelengths, which I'll talk about a bit more in my 5 Things We Learned video, which will come out later today, so stay tuned for that. I thought it'd be interesting as well to just look at the headlines in the last 24 hours. So, this gives us a bit of an indicator on what people are thinking across the AFL world on St Kilda. So let's just go through some of these headlines. So the first one is generational talent firing on all cylinders as Saints season continues to spiral out of control. Ross the Boss at a loss as sloppy Saints slide into deeper hole. Dominant Demons delight as Saints succumb to 3rd straight loss. Saints seek answers after fall from grace. And lucky last from near laid out to Demolition Man. Gorn tears Saints to shreds. And actually that reminds me, because he was a fitness test before the game and everyone was sending me texts and DMs saying, oh, he might be, Gorny might be out. And then when he was declared fit, I told Jaden at the time, I'm like, watch. He's either going to be really shit or he's just going to absolutely tear us a new one and be best on ground. And guess what? He tore us a new one, was basically best on ground. So that didn't work out. So those are the headlines. Obviously all negative, and rightly so. We're in a bit of a pickle at the moment, to say the least. But on the flip side, in the VFL, our boys got the chocolates. They ran out 13-point winners. The main positive was Tim Membry got through the game and kicked 6. So that's a really good sign. Obviously, he would probably be a likely in. The one that surprised was Ollie Houghton. He kicked 5 from 17 disposals, 3 marks, 3 tackles, which was a really strong display on his part. Brad Crouch at 33 again. Not much more Brad Crouch can do, honestly. Hunter Clark at 31 with 6 tackles. I mean, these are 2 blokes that would make our midfield better instantly. If they don't play this week, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, Ollie Houghton 5, Ben Patton 26, Zach Jones 25, but we know Zach Jones does always dominate VFL. Ari Shawmaker 20, Dan Butler 16 with 1 goal, 3. Mateus Filippo, the big one, 17 disposals, 3 tackles, no goals. Isaac Keeler 14 disposals, Zane Cordy 13 disposals, 5 marks. Angus Hasty, quiet day at the office for him, 11, and Matty Allison 1 goal straight off the back of, I think, his 5-goal bag last week. So Sandy are going all right. I think they're climbing up the ladder. They're doing pretty good. That's a couple wins in a row now for them. That one was at Casey Fields, and they're not too bad, Casey, so that was a good win from them. But hopefully we'll see, the likes of Tim Membry, Brad Crouch, Hunter Clark have a go, in the first. Even Dan Butler could be a shout for next week to join Jack Higgins in the forward line. And speaking of Butler, he was on the injury list, but that is now taken care of. We literally have Ari Shawmaker on there as a test, but that was prior to the VFL game, so he's off that list. It's literally, our injury list right now is just James Van Ez with an ankle for the season. That is it. It is the smallest injury list you'll ever see for a football club. We have no excuses. We can't say this player can't play, this player can't play. But we're leaving them all in VFL for some reason. Our VFL team's doing better than our AFL team because they got Brad Crouch, Hunter Clark, They got some decent players in there. We need to get those players in the firsts. But yeah, we have no excuses on the injury front, which is a good thing to have, even though our season's probably shot. Now to the tipping, there was a couple of people who got 9, but one person got closest to the margin, which is the Psychic Saint. So good name there. They round out 9, so I've hit them up for the prize. So check your inbox there, the Psychic Saint. I got 5. That was pretty shit. I did go very ambitious in terms of a couple of upsets, but that didn't really work for me. And obviously, I think I tipped the Saints, so that costs me a tip pretty much every week. I reckon I'd be leading if I didn't tip the Saints, as every other Saint person would probably say in this competition. And that leads me to this week's game, round 12, Saturday at 4:35 p.m. This couldn't be set up as more of a doom and gloom game. Honestly, you couldn't. 3-8, you're flying to Optus Stadium, where West Coast are a different beast, and we're taking them on their home deck. They are favourites. $1.78 to $2.08. No surprise there, to be honest. They lost by 99 points yesterday, Sainers, and we are underdogs to this team. That's where we're at. They lost by 99 points. They are second bottom from the ladder, and we are underdogs. If they win this, we go to 16th. That is the predicament that we are in. Awesome. Jake Melts this time next week. What do you reckon? What are the odds on that? God, I'm not looking forward to this game. I'm not looking forward to previewing it. Tonight, podcast, we're back, so that's good news for the week, but bloody hell, I wish we came into that with a bit of an upset win against the D's, but not to be, and now we've got West Coast, and then we've got Gold Coast. 2 teams that I'm really not confident. I mean, you couldn't be confident against anyone, so I'll leave it there, Sainers. That's Saints TV Weekly for another week for May 27th. Thank you again. Thanks to Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Check them out on their website, as I mentioned at the start. And stay tuned for all the content. Obviously, podcast, Saints TV Live, Saints TV reviews, previews. We've got the teams on Thursday night when they drop. A lot of content coming, as always. So appreciate your support, even during a very difficult season for the club. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.